Hello and welcome to Caching Waves. It's your Elliott Wave update for Solana. Now just quickly on the daily, looking to target this area of 143.65 or higher if we get extensions at this point of breakdown. Let's get down to the lower levels. Going to be focusing on this third wave in green, and you'll see those levels in blue. Now this area here is still in question whether our third of the third is in or if we need another high. If that's the case, I would expect to get extensions above 145. But currently, if we break down from here, looking for my buy zone between 60 and 85 within this previous fourth wave of one lesser degree. Let's get down to the hourly. The big question is this wave for me. I believe there's a possibility here we get an ending diagonal to actually complete this fifth wave. Reason being, I don't like the size of this fourth wave in this structure with our fourth wave starting here. We're at 1, 2, 3, very short 4, and our fifth wave short in time and retracement, which is why it's suspect to me, which is the reason why I have this as an option to actually complete, where that was simply an ABC rather than a 5-wave move. And we need to come up to that 143 area for our third wave before making that larger correction down between 60 and 85. Now, if you watch my previous video, you know I took a trade entry here expecting this move. We came down for one more and basically double bottomed. Nothing has really changed from this pattern. Just the pivot changed a little bit. I can adjust this trend line, as you can see, and everything still lines up just fine. Extensions are the same since it was pretty much a double bottom, and looking for this to turn into a zigzag. Since I ticked that and we didn't technically make a new low, so this can be a zigzag starting here or here, it doesn't really matter. Because if this is the start of the move over here, we'd simply get a zigzag here, and this would turn into a double zigzag ABC, ABC. But I like the double bottom starting from here better. It just looks better in clearly the trend line, but it doesn't change extensions whatsoever. So what I'm looking for this trade setup is, we'll go down to the 15-minute. I'm not getting in it now. And this has to be moved over and this whole structure becomes a WXY, very complex. WXY. And you can see we're holding between the 50 and the 618 of this previous move, which is where we would expect to hold for an ending diagonal. So we came down double bottom. We were rejected very nicely in those V bottoms I always show in my charts for your trade setup. Missed the initial entry. This would have been the spot to buy it. As you can see, we rejected, broke through right there, previous support right at that level, and we drifted sideways. That would have been the ideal entry. Missed that one, but it looks like we're making a 1, 2, 3, 4. We need another fifth wave up and break this previous resistance. And I'm going to be looking for a sideways correction here between the 382.50 and the 618. I'll take a third at each level, looking for this to move to the upside to those upper targets. But I'm going to wait for that to pan out before I enter. Now, in my bearish scenario, I want to show you that too. Where is it here? There we go. This, because we had this double bottom, this could be a B wave in a bigger correction, and that would be if this count was correct and we don't need the ending diagonal. This whole structure becomes a flat as an ABC, or we're looking for 5 waves up to complete the C wave. or a complex correction. But this is 3 and a complex correction, looking for a C wave. Now this retracement's taken from the top to the bottom here, and we'd be looking for 5 waves up at between the 618 and the 100 extension for trading purposes of this A off to this B. Which would be between, put that on the right. And we go to the closer of the two, 98.83. Yeah, logs closer. Between 98.93 and 108.35. Right in that zone. But because if this ends up turning into a flat, we want to hit at least the 70%. So keep that in mind. What I would do is target between, if this gets a 5 wave to the upside, right here, we get that extra wave we were looking for. I pull the extensions off this and look for our standard 5 wave fib extensions, and hopefully we get some confluence there between the two targets. But normal targets would be 108 there at the 1-to-1. It's just for trading purposes in case we get a little bit of a lesser retracement. That's the minimum requirement for our C wave, the 0.618. So if we fail, top was over here, looking for this move to the downside between that $60 and $85 I mentioned to you earlier. And this would be our buy zone for our 5th wave to the upside and 3rd if this fails. Now, unfortunately, this C wave, if we get 5 waves here, this C wave is going to look the exact same as the beginning of our zigzag to the upside. It's going to look pretty much the exact same. Sorry, let me just adjust that a little bit. This would get moved over a little bit. So our C wave here is going to look pretty much the exact same as our A wave in our zigzag to the upside. And we're going to get a correction here and then move up for our C wave as an ABC if the diagonal plays out. And if we put this in a different color, if we get the C wave to the downside and this completes an AB and we're looking for a C wave to the downside, this would just collapse below the previous 4th, come back up, draw down for 3 waves. 3 waves or 5, depending if we hit that 0.7. So the area where this count changes is right here, right at the previous 4th wave. So have to be paying attention in that area. But if we get this entry here, we should be able to move our stops up slightly to at least break even when we move to the upside. So you can see this area is the most area to pay attention to. So down for my trade, waiting for 5 waves up here. Again, looks like we could have 3 waves done. 1, 2, 3 with a flat, 5, just looking for that one more. Break this previous resistance. Looking for a sideways correction here over today or tomorrow, and looking for a long. I will be buying within this zone, stop at this low, targeting up between 130 and 145 on linear, and 123 and 134 on linear, and log targets a little bit higher. But we'll be targeting a zigzag at the moment. And if this is actually an impulse, that we'd be getting extensions here altogether. But I'm not going to cover that at this moment. If we start to look more impulsive than these counts, I will address that in a following video. But right now looking for that entry. I'm not just entering blindly. I want to see a 5-wave pattern. I want to see resistance broken through a previous level, because this can absolutely just come back down for one more. So I'm going to avoid that since we double bottomed, and if we do that, I'd look for the same scenario that happened here. But it looks good at the moment. Just that buy up looks really good, so I want to look for the entry here. Areas to watch out for, again, are up at this level where this whole structure can turn into a 3, and then we continue with this structure getting bigger. All right, guys, that's it for Solana. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.